Hello everyone and welcome back to my Days of Our Lives 21 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. In moments Days of Our Lives, Melinda gasps in unbelief that Rafe is going to arrest her. He snaps that got her attention, also starts yelling that she prevaricated to him about Jude and, "You are in this up to your neck." Melinda scoffs indeed when Rafe tells her he learned she prevaricated from Eric. Whatever legal action she took on behalf of Sloane falls under customer attorney honor, she snaps, before Rafe says she can go with him town for booking. He starts reading Melinda her rights, that snaps at her as she tries to stop him that she's a felonious and she'll be penalized. "Indeed at your family's expenditure," Melinda asks, stopping him cold. "What does that have to do with Gabby?" Rafe prodigies. Melinda rehashes the new substantiation about Gil and Gabby. It's compelling if Rafe has the book. Right now she's got it for keeping. They wouldn't want anything to be to it, would they? Rafe gapes that she's blackmailing the manager. Melinda keeps speaking in hypotheticals about if she knew anything about what happened. Sloane's still the kidnapper. And if he ever wants Gabby out, he'll tell everyone she was no way near the baby. Outside of the cantina, Leo tells EJ that him wanting to keep the verity about Jude silent makes no sense. "Why did you pay me all that plutocrat just to keep me from your own son?" Fine, EJ sighs, he'll tell Leo the verity. He didn't want Nicole to learn the verity about Jude until he was absolutely certain. He just wanted further time to be certain, so he didn't get Nicole's hopes up for nothing. Leo doesn't buy it, however. Why pay him to keep quiet and not just ask him? Because EJ knows Leo blurts effects out, so the plutocrat was just a little redundant insurance if he was just guarding Nicole. He also condescendingly says farewell and leaves with Jude. Over in the Demerrimance, Nicole calls the Bobbies on Sloane just as she runs out, and right into Eric. "What the hell are you doing then?" he growls. Nicole shrugs that Sloane wanted a armistice, but she told her to go to hell. She also calls Rafe and tells him to get over there right down to arrest Sloane. Eric tells Sloane she's going to pay for what she did to Nicole and him, but Sloane said there's no worse discipline than losing him. Remission is important to him in his faith, she reminds him. If your family or family sins against you, reproach them, however, forgive them if they rue. Eric looks thoughtful but says nothing. She also insists she did what she did out of love, which gets a furious response from Eric. Out of love? It was cruel and deluded. Sloane tells him that what they know isn't the whole story. She thinks back to telling EJ the verity about Jude, but as she tries to stammer out what happened, EJ comes home. "Sloane, what the hell?" Nicole says she came to apologize and claims there's further to the story. EJ grabs her and escorts her out and yells at Eric to stay and get ice for Nicole's hand. "And I'll go and take care of this," he growls at Sloane. Before being dragged out, she tearfully tells Eric again that she loves him. Outside, EJ tells her they had a deal. He paid her a lot of plutocrat and she disappeared, however. He'll make her life a living hell. Sloane doesn't want to live her life in fear, and allowed. She could move Nicole to forgive her and understand if she says a word about Eric. EJ mocks her expedients to face and tailbacks at her to take the plutocrat and vanish. "Do you understand me?" Inside, Eric tells Nicole that Melinda was involved too, also sorely starts talking about Jude and his routines. He admits it's hard being around Jude, so he's going to go catch up with EJ and make sure Sloane's taken care of. Nicole, he says, should just worry about making up for lost time with your son. He walks out. Stefan and Kristen, meanwhile, are meeting in the Horton Square for a not-so-secret talk. Stefan tells his family that Melinda squinched him when he tried to get her to renew Gabby's case. They need further substantiation to renew the case. Lee's blood on Gil's book wasn't enough. Stefan says it's up for Kristen to figure out how to get Trask to play ball, at least if she wants the Demerrimance seat. She thinks a moment. "I've got it. Didn't Melinda have a crush on Stefan at one point? All he has to do is revitalize that magnet. Betray her, and she'll do what he wants." Stefan hates the plan, but Kristen reminds him that all that passion for Gabby didn't stop him from sleeping with Ava. He tries playing dumb, but Kristen tells him it would have been crazy if he hadn't slept with Ava. "How did you know?" "Ava's not that discreet," Kristen whispers. "She just spear it out." He threatens her to no way tell anyone about it, but Kristen baffles that she's not the problem. Ava is. Because if Gabby ever finds out, I'm guessing that there's gonna be hell to pay. Inside the Brady pub, Roman is allowing back sorely about meeting Jude the first time. Kate snaps him back to the present and says she's been calling his name. Roman tells her EJ was just in there getting lunch with Jude. The sweet little Joe who was my grandson. They sit down to eat and talk about how Eric is and how he's looking for Sloane. I knew that woman was bad news from the nanosecond she told me she didn't like Ma's chowder. He hopes Sloane and everyone involved in hurting Eric gets what's coming to them. Just also Leo walks in and grabs a menu. Roman offers him a knuckle sandwich, but Leo plays dumb and orders chowder. He also tells him he's refusing service. Roman knows everything about him blackmailing Sloane. He's not drinking the cantina. Leo claims that he didn't do anything of the kind while Roman raspberries and tells him, "You're shamefaced. You're not going to get down with this, Leo." Kate also asks him point blank if he stole the baby, and he thinks back to defying Sloane about her stealing him. "Of course not," he blurts. "What would I ever do with a baby?" Leo insists that Sloane's a fabricator and no bone. Can believe her claims about him. He rambles on for a bit, also runs out. In the show's final moments, Stefan insists that he loves his woman, and tells Kristen his only concern is getting her estrewal of captivity. They no way talking about it again, but what happened with Ava was a mistake, and I'm no way gonna do it again with anyone. He'll no way betray her again, and that includes sleeping with Melinda. Kristen sighs. Melinda teases Rafe and tells him he'll get everything he wants. However, she'll go still, she says, and holds out her hands if he still wants to arrest her. But she hopes Gabby understands he was more concerned about Melinda's justice than hers. Rafe resignedly agrees to the deal. But she more keep her word because if not, he's locking Melinda over and throwing away the key. He storms out. Nicole addresses to Jude, marveling that she knew he was gone. Also thinks back to stealing him from the city forecourt and EJ assuring her. She vows that Sloane will pay. Outdoors, Eric finds EJ laying on the frontal veranda, supposedly unconscious. He rouses him and EJ says Sloane hit him over the head and sends Eric off in the contrary direction of Sloane. She returns to thank him and he scowls at her to get the hell out of then. "And don't ever darken my doorstep again." Stephanie Johnson is concerned. Speaking of Everett, Days spoilers for Wednesday, May 29th suggest he'll also be the content of discussion when Stephanie Johnson voices her enterprises about Lynch to Chad DiMera. Looks like Stephanie will be relatively concerned about Everett, so what kind of advice will Chad give? Steve Johnson's gotcha moment across city. DOL spoilers for Wednesday reveal that Steve Johnson will pinpoint the position of where Clyde Weston and Officer Goldman are hiding. In other news, Harris Michaels, Ava Vitale, and Lucas Horton will land in Montana. What kind of drama will post-date? Suckers will have to tune in to find out. Who's looking forward to Wednesday's show? Leave your studies in the comments section.